Let's watch this video so that I have some 1 or 2 things to tell you. Let's watch this video.
God have mercy upon us.
Drug abuse is on the high side, and the youths are engaging in drug abuse. People abuse prescribed drugs, even the paracetamol, the tramadol, and the rest. People abuse them. Most time, people take the quantity they are not supposed to take. Most time, people even think that paracetamol is just it's like, oh, something you can just chew. It's not anything. But we must know that paracetamol is one of the drugs that if you misuse it, if you abuse it, can cause liver issues. It's one of the drugs that we must be very careful of. The youths are on the high side of abuse of drugs nowadays. The tramadols and the rest. Per the video, we can see that a young lady that is into drugs. But we must know that if the youth of this country, that are the future of the country, are engaging in drug use and developing all kinds of mental conditions, medical conditions, then we must know that the country is at the verge of collapsing. It is time we rise up and fight the misuse of drugs, drug abuse, especially the hard drugs. The hard drugs like the weed, the cannabis, the cocaine, alcohol, and the rest. It will interest you to know that when you start abuse of one drug, a time will come you will not get that effect that you want. Most of the time, the only benefit they get from these drugs is that euphoric effect, that feeling of high, we are high, living high, that feeling. That is the only benefit. But if you weigh the benefits over the risk or the side effects or the complications, you will know that the complications are much. So when they abuse the drugs and they are no more getting that euphoric effect, then they have to add up or add other drugs, hard drugs. Nowadays, you see youths holding bottle, energy drink, then they'll add other forms of drugs like the tramadol, paracetamol, some cough mixtures with the energy drinks, with other chemicals. They mix them into bottles, and you see them drinking these things. Nowadays, even the Sobolo, the local drink that we take, they are adding cannabis and other substances. Biscuits and toffees, they are adding it. You will be surprised to know that because they are no more getting the euphoric effect from those things that I've mentioned earlier, most of them has now switched to smoking of, excuse my language, smoking of dry feces. Human feces, the dry one, the youth are smoking it. We must be very careful so that this country will not be at the verge of collapsing. It is high time the law enforcement agencies, it is high time the religious leaders, it is high time the hospitals rise up to fight this canker. Drug use can be as a result of one, peer influence. There are most people that engage in drugs because of their friends, the people they associate with, they influence them. It can also be as a result of curiosity. People want to find out what are people getting from this. Then they also start abusing it. And then most of these, some of these substances like the alcoholic beverages, on our radios, you will see how they advertise and describe it. They give it that palatable taste, that sweet taste. When they describe it, you have the edge to also test it. So that has caused a lot of people to engage in alcohol use. But it's high time we start fighting this canker. People also abuse, maybe sometimes because of medical conditions. Maybe the person has a chronic condition, that is, so when they take it, a painkiller, then they think they get a relief, then they increase it, then they become abusers. People also abuse because of the availability of the substance. But it is time we start sensitizing. We start talking about the misuse of drugs, its effects on the human life. Now, anyone that abuses alcohol may one way or the other develop kidney and liver issues. The person may develop kidney and liver issues. The person may also develop mental conditions as a result of the alcohol use. Delirium may set in at the first instance, and then in the future the person may develop dementia. These are mental conditions. The person may develop other mental conditions as a result of the alcohol use, the psychosis, where we have the schizophrenia and the rest. So alcohol also have a great effect on the human body. And then most time people who abuse alcohol, you see that they develop some medical conditions. Sometimes there is emaciation, they look dehydrated. When you look at their hair, you see that they have puffy face, puffy eyes, and the rest. It's because anytime they take in alcohol, it takes vitamins from their body. And then the body is deprived of these vitamins. So the effects are those things. It is very important that our religious leaders, the churches, the mosques, it's high time they rise up to fight this canker. The time has come that we rise up to fight drug abuse. The most annoying part is that when you go to a lot of communities now, they have these ghettos, and you will see that the young ladies, some are teenagers, and they have given birth, and they even go to the ghettos to smoke weed with the babies. It's becoming an issue that we must rise up and speak against. It is high time that the opinion leaders help these people. Let them go for rehabilitation. Let them go to the hospitals for assessment, for treatment. If not, at the end of the day, a lot of communities will collapse because the youths are into drugs. Let's all come on board to support, to prevent this canker. If you come across this video, kindly share. Let it get to a lot of people. If you need any help, you can chat me. I will be of help. If you come across this video and you are not following our Facebook page, follow us on Facebook at Cherish TV, and then on YouTube at Cherish TV Ghana. Let's spread the message so that we will help to fight drug abuse, because it's very dangerous and it can destroy a whole nation. Thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing and following Cherish TV.